Okay, welcome to the deep dive. We're diving straight into a stack of source material you sent in today.
Right.
Specifically, it's excerpts from a YouTube video transcript. The title is Diddy HIV Report Exposed Names Celebs He Infected. Quite a title.
It definitely signals, the kind of claims we're going to be looking at. Very sensational.
Exactly. And our goal here, like always, is just to unpack the claims and the allegations within this specific source material.
Hmm.
We want to pull out the key details, the connections the source is making, basically to help you, the listener, see what narrative is being presented here.
And it's really, really important to stress this, given how sensitive the topic is. We are only reporting the claims as they appear in this transcript.
Right.
We're not adding anything, not verifying, not refuting. We're just guiding you through what this particular source is actually claiming.
Think of us as just mapping out the specific text. So let's get into it. The source jumps right into allegations about Diddy's health.
Yeah, it does. It basically says word is circulating that Diddy might be battling something serious. And, it specifically alleges HIV.
Okay. And it adds another layer, too, claiming that prosecutors are supposedly waving around his medical report.
That's a detail the source throws in, yeah. It tries to link this alleged health issue to the legal stuff by saying this report is allegedly out there with prosecutors.
So that's presented as kind of context for the main health claim.
Exactly. And then the source immediately tries to connect this alleged health issue to how Diddy looked physically.
Ah, right. It said he looked, what, thinner and grayer when he was seen in court?
Yes, citing reports mentioned within the source. And importantly, it interprets this alleged change.
How so?
Well, the source asserts that folks are saying this isn't just, a bad diet or mything his chef. It claims people are saying it's because, allegedly, his body is breaking down from something deeper.
And it links that something deeper back to the alleged HIV.
Explicitly, yes. In the source's narrative, the alleged appearance changes become sort of visual proof for the health claim it's making.
Okay. So health claims, appearance.
Yeah.
Then the source moves on to alleged activities. It uses the term download lifestyle.
Yeah, it claims he's lived this alleged download lifestyle for years.
And what does the source imply by that?
Well, it gets pretty specific. It mentions claims of him forcing himself on men, dudes, as the source puts it, and also hiring male escorts. That seems to be what the source means by that term.
Okay. And it doesn't just talk about the past, right? It mentions alleged activities in prison, too.
It does. Claims he allegedly has this, full-blown fan club of jail groupies.
Groupies? Really?
Yeah, who allegedly, fight over making his bed and stuff like that. It actually credits Lisa Evers for that specific detail.
Oh, okay. And does the source connect this to the health claims?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It alleges he's been getting down with these groupies in jail and makes a point of saying protection isn't really available there, framing it as high risk given the earlier HIV allegation.
Yeah. And the source uses some really specific details to back this up about things allegedly found.
Right, the baby oil and lubricant. It claims about 1,000 bottles of baby oil were found in his crib.
1,000.
That's the number in the source. And cases and cases of personal lubricant seized. It even claims staff allegedly stocked hotel rooms with this stuff for what the source calls freak-offs.
Freak-offs.
Yeah, where the source claims everyone gets oiled up. It uses these kinds of details to paint a really vivid picture of these alleged activities.
Okay, so it's building this narrative, then it brings in someone else's voice, right? Jaguar Wright.
Yes, according to this source, Jaguar Wright did an interview where she directly claimed Diddy has been battling HIV and, faced a diagnosis.
And she apparently hinted it wasn't just him.
Right. The source says she suggested there are maybe 20 other men, minimum, in the industry who might be in the same boat, allegedly infected. Called it a bigger problem.
But she didn't name names, according to the source.
No, the source says she wouldn't drop names yet. But it uses her claims to widen the scope, suggesting it's potentially bigger than just Diddy.
Then the source touches on Kim Porter, which is obviously incredibly sensitive.
Very. The source claims it was also alleged that Kim Porter, his baby Mana, was HIV positive.
And it connects this to her autopsy. How?
Well, gets speculative here. The source asserts that if her real autopsy report came out, it would raise questions about how she allegedly got HIV.
Potentially involving Diddy, is that the implication?
That's what the source suggests, claiming he allegedly didn't want that scrutiny. But importantly, the source itself adds a qualifier here.
What does it say?
It says it doesn't know how true this specific claim about Kim Porter is, but includes it because it's something that is, quote, being talked about.
Okay, that qualification is key. It's presenting it as a reported rumor, not fact. So, moving on to the other celebrities allegedly named, the source claims prosecutors have a list.
Yes, allegedly. And it frames them mostly as his so-called boy toys, but notes women are named too.
Okay, so who does the source actually name? Let's go through them. Usher is first.
Yeah, Usher's name comes up. The source claims he was allegedly named in this mess.
And it tries to draw a line back to when Usher lived with Diddy.
Right. Points out he lived with Diddy in New York for a year when he was like 13.
Wow, 13.
Yeah, and it references Usher talking about this on Howard Stern's show. Initially, he apparently made it sound fun, called it Puffy Flavor Camp.
But then,
the source says Usher hinted later in the interview that real twisted shit went down. Called the situation very curious.
did he elaborate on Twisted?
Not explicitly detailed in our source material, but it does say Usher stated he'd never let his own kids near an environment like that.
Okay, so the source takes that history and those comments.
And connects it back to the health allegations. It concludes that if Diddy allegedly had STDs, then, people were saying Usher might need a checkup.
And it adds something else about Usher.
Yeah, it throws in the detail that Usher had previously been sued by 3 people for allegedly giving them herpes.
Yeah.
Seemingly to add context or weight to its claim about potential exposure from Diddy.
Interesting how it pieces those different things together. Okay, who else? Meek Mill.
Meek Mill, yeah. His name is ringing heavy in these streets, according to the source.
Why? What's the connection the source makes?
It talks about this wild audio clip that's supposedly online.
Okay.
And the source claims this clip allegedly catches Diddy and Meek in a real private moment where Diddy allegedly calls Meek Daddy on camera.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Okay. And Meek's response.
The source notes Meek tried to shut it down, called the clip fake, said people were trying to destroy him, but the source says the clip resurfaced anyway.
And the source interprets this how?
It suggests this clip led people online to speculate their relationship was allegedly way more than just business.
Got it. Then the source goes further back in time, right? To Craig Mack.
Yes, Craig Mack. The source notes he died from AIDS.
Now wait, wasn't the reported cause of death heart failure?
It was. But the source claims folks are now whispering it was actually HIV. It acknowledges the reported cause, but introduces this alleged whisper.
Okay. And the link to Diddy.
The source asserts Mack was allegedly brainwashed so bad from Diddy and treated so badly that he basically fled, went to South Carolina, joined a cult with his family,
Wow.
and died of AIDS a few years ago. The source presents this whole sequence, the timing, the connections, as too close for comfort.
Implying people are wondering if Diddy had some hand in it.
That's the suggestion the source puts forward, yeah, using Mack's tragic story to fuel more speculation around Diddy.
Okay. Moving to more recent figures. YK Osiris.
Right. Dubbed Diddy's new boy toy online, the source says, after a video surfaced of them looking close on a beach.
And someone asked him about it.
Yeah, DJ Envy on The Breakfast Club, according to the source. And the source describes Osiris getting all nervous.
Nervous how?
Pacing, laughing it off, claiming he was there with a woman. But the source interprets his whole demeanor, saying his whole vibe screamed guilty, implying something allegedly went down with Diddy.
So, interpreting his reaction as confirmation of the rumors, what about French Montana?
French Montana's mentioned too, noting his long association with Diddy.
Any specific incident?
The source points to one particular birthday celebration clip. Doesn't detail it much, but says it left people side-eyeing.
Suggesting what?
Suggesting it wasn't just, friendship or bromance, but something deeper, is the phrase the source uses.
Okay. And it wasn't just men named, right? The source mentioned women, too.
Correct. It says the rumor mill includes J-Lo, Kim Kardashian, and Cassie.
Does it elaborate on them?
It focuses mostly on Cassie. It references her previous allegations, that Diddy allegedly made her do things with escorts.
Right.
And then the source connects that back to the health claim, saying some say those same escorts might have been infected.
So it uses Cassie's prior claims as a bridge to suggest potential exposure for her and maybe others.
Exactly. And the source wraps up this section with the pretty stark conclusion. If any of this is true, Diddy could have allegedly passed this thing around like party favors.
Oof, that's quite the phrase.
It is. It summarizes the source's overall implication about widespread potential infection.
Finally, the source includes some online reactions, user comments.
Yeah, just a few examples from the platform where the video apparently appeared to show how people were reacting.
What kind of comments?
Things like, he definitely got Usher. Another one casts a really wide net. So then J-Lo, Kim Kardashian, Ray J, all the rappers, singers, NBA and NFL players probably have it too. Be careful who you sleep with, y'all. They're giving it to everyone.
Wow, okay, so very broad speculation based on the source's claims.
Exactly. And another one saying, looks like celebrities that went down with Diddy, including them Boy Toy, got to get themselves checked. Just illustrating the kind of online talk the source claims is happening.
Okay, so that wraps up our walkthrough of the claims presented in this specific YouTube transcript source. We've covered the central HIV allegation, the links the source makes to appearance and alleged activities, the claims attributed to Jaguar Wright, the sensitive Kim Porter mention.
And that whole list of individuals the source brings into it. Usher, Meek Mill, Craig Mack, YK Osiris, French Montana, plus the women, especially Cassie.
And just to reiterate one last time, our focus here was purely on laying out the information as presented in those transcript excerpts you sent.
Absolutely. No outside info, no judgment on validity. We just aim to show you, the listener, what this source claims and how it pieces its narrative together.
Right. Because understanding online information, especially stuff this sensational, means seeing clearly what the source is actually asserting and the specific details it uses, whether they're direct claims, rumors, or interpretations.
And this source definitely weaves together a lot. Alleged health issues, alleged activities, historical connections, recent incidents, comments from others, tying numerous people together.
So, maybe a final thought for you to consider, based only on what we've unpacked from this source. Given how this specific source connects such serious allegations across a wide range of people using different types of evidence, rumors, interpretations, past links, how does analyzing that narrative structure itself change how you approach information you find in sources like this online? Something to chew on.